Bianca, good afternoon. President Macron told reporters in a brief exchange afterwards that the G7 video conference call that he attended this morning in the Oval Office went perfect, and that the greeting he received earlier today from President Trump was, quote, very good, very friendly, as always. Today's visit by the French president, the first European head of state to meet here at the White House with the 47th president, comes at a moment of high tension in the transatlantic alliance, with our allies alarmed at the seemingly one-sided approach President Trump is taking to bring an end to the Russia-Ukraine war, launched 3 years ago today with Russia's invasion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky seen here with Macron, and President-elect Trump in Paris back in December has resisted signing on to Mr. Trump's demand for the U.S. to receive half the profits from Ukraine's rare earth minerals, port fees, and other payments of up to $500 billion. The very deal that President Trump warned at CPAC on Saturday that Zelensky had, quote, better sign, and soon.
How Biden got us into this thing in the first place, terrible. But why is it that he didn't ask for equalization? Europe should put up more money than us. But even if you said the same thing, how come we went so far out front? And he didn't know that Europe gets his money back. They did it in the form of a loan. We don't get our money back. We get nothing. So we're getting our money back. We're going to get our money back because it's not fair. It's just not fair. And we will see. But I think we're pretty close to a deal, and we better be close to a deal.
After nearly 90 minutes of remarks on that occasion, the president treated the CPAC faithful to an extended version of the signature Trump dance. The president was in high spirits, as when he proclaimed that everything his predecessor touched turned to you-know-what. And after that, the president recounted how the Reverend Franklin Graham has privately pleaded with him to stop using profanity in his public remarks.
You know that Franklin wrote me a letter. He said, I love your speeches. I love them so much. But they'd be better if you would never use foul language. And I told him, I said, Franklin, you know, Franklin Graham's a great guy, by the way, does a great job. The son of the great Billy Graham, right? But I said to Franklin, you know, sometimes you need it for emphasis. And he said, no, they'd be even better if you wouldn't use any bad language. That's not really a terrible word, you know?
After this morning's G7 call, President Macron walked back to Blair House, so we will be seeing the second arrival from him today. Just a few minutes from now, the joint news conference between the two presidents will take place in the East Room of the White House in the 2 p.m. Eastern Time hour. According to President Macron himself, in remarks he gave to reporters last week, his message to President Trump today is going to be, and I quote, "You can't be weak in the face of President Putin. It's not you. It's not your trademark." And the French president added he will tell the president, how can you be credible in the face of China if you're weak in the face of Putin, unquote. Bianca.
Should be an interesting few hours there at the White House. James Rosen will be checking back in with you. Thank you for that live update.
President Trump, do you have a message for Pope Francis, sir, who's still in the hospital? Do you have a message for Pope Francis, sir?
We don't see you, please. Should federal workers
Get well. It's a very serious situation. We want to get well. That's possible.
President Macron, do you have something to say to the Pope, who's in the hospital?
I didn't hear you.
Pope?
Oh, yes, no. Do think about the Holy Pope, and we wish him a recovery and a prompt recovery.
Thank you.
Should federal workers be listening to their agencies, or are you